Welcome back to What If Piccolo Was the Main Character. Hope you're enjoying this series. I know I am. All that being said, let's get to it. Everything seemed fine. After the Universe 6 and 7 tournament, everyone was impressed with Piccolo. Piccolo's always been the strongest, at least for a while, but they didn't expect it to be that strong. However, that would not last. Something would disturb the peace. Suddenly, future Trunks would arrive at his time machine. As everyone gathered around him, he saw Piccolo and Gohan. He picked up his sword and began to swing at Piccolo. This confused everyone, as Piccolo just punched him, knocking him out. Maybe it wasn't Trunks, maybe it was Captain Ginyu and Trunks' body in the future. Or maybe this Trunks turned bad? Or maybe he was just confused. No one really knew what the hell happened. However, eventually Trunks would wake up and he would begin to tell him. He would tell him about the future and how there was a Piccolo Black. He would explain how this Piccolo wore completely black clothes and wanted nothing but death and destruction. He hunted people down and destroyed them. Entire cities, entire populations wiped out, just like the androids, but this time he seemed different from them. But before he can finish talking, suddenly a portal would open up as Piccolo Black would walk out. The other Piccolo, our Piccolo, would fly towards him. "So you're this imposter I hear about. What makes you do this?" Piccolo was confused. Maybe it was a timeline where he stayed evil, but even when he was evil, he just wanted to take over the world. He didn't want to destroy everything. He never had that goal in mind. Piccolo Black would look up at him and say, "Oh, imposter." I wouldn't say that. Just you with some more common sense. Piccolo and Piccolo Black then began to battle each other. As Piccolo began to win, he turned yellow and began to push Piccolo Black further and further back. But before he could kill him, suddenly he gets sucked back through the time portal. As Piccolo and the rest watched that happen, everyone was confused. Who was this Piccolo Black? And his aura felt different than Piccolo's. It felt so similar to his, but it also felt different at the same time, like there was someone else in there. That difference felt like Zamasu. Beerus would see this and began to get intrigued. As Beerus thought about Zamasu, he decided to go investigate with Piccolo, since the time machine was destroyed and Bone was looking for one. Beerus and Piccolo would go to Zamasu's planet. And as they arrived there, they would meet Goasu and they'd begin to talk, and things would go similarly as normal, until Piccolo and Zamasu would begin to spar. As Piccolo and Zamasu battled, they were actually quite even. Zamasu remarked at Piccolo's power, but he was just a dumb mortal, so of course he'd be below him. However, as Zamasu and Piccolo were fighting, suddenly Piccolo would turn yellow. This would shock Zamasu. Then he would turn orange. This is the full extent of my power. This is the power that I have attained over time, and you can attain that power too. As Piccolo won, he stretched out his hand for Zamasu to take it. Zamasu didn't, however. He simply got up on his own, not taking the mortal's pity. Goasu would see this and be a bit disappointed, but then after they talked, they would then leave. It seemed they didn't learn much from this. Zamasu didn't seem like that bad of a guy. Little did they know, though, they started Zamasu's journey to the Zero Mortal Plan. We cut back to Bulma, who managed to find the old time machine and fixed it up, as they were all ready to go back, but when Piccolo showed up, there was a problem. Trunks, Piccolo, Goku, and Vegeta couldn't all fit, so one of them had to not go. So they all played rock, paper, scissors to see who would go. Gohan would go, but he was busy with his studying, and he was trying to master his beast mode form, or whatever that form was when he was fighting Hit. And yeah, as they played rock, paper, scissors, Goku and Vegeta won, and he was chosen to go. Vegeta, Piccolo, and Trunks all went into the time machine and left. As that happened, we cut back to the future. As they all got out, soldiers began to point their guns at Piccolo, but Trunks would say it's okay, he's not black. And as he cleared the misconception, things would seem to go well, and they would get ready to fight Piccolo Black. As Piccolo Black smirked at them, Vegeta would fly up towards him. "I may not be able to beat the Green Man from my timeline, but I can defeat you. And then he's next. I am the Prince of all Saiyans, Vegeta!" As then he turned blue, but then Piccolo Black laughed and said, "Oh, Vegeta, so prideful." But in the end, where does that get you? As suddenly Piccolo Black would turn pink, rosé. His skin color was pink. His body language was strong. And his aura spewed out pure cockiness and pure righteousness. Vegeta would try to fight him, but Piccolo Black would simply pull out a scythe and cut Vegeta deep in his stomach, causing him to fall down. Then Piccolo would fly up in his orange form and punch Piccolo Black. Piccolo Black would say, even with this form, you're not an easy opponent. You're strong, but I'll show you what's even stronger. Me! As they battled each other, pushing each other more and more, Trunks saw this and was about to fly up to help, but then he felt a ki blast hit his back. As he looked behind him, it was Zamasu. Trunks would be shocked. Why would Zamasu be all the way out here? He didn't know much about him, but he heard about him. Zamasu, what are you doing? Zamasu would laugh and say, helping with the plan, of course. What plan? As he held Vegeta. Zamasu would then go on about his Project Zero Mortals to wipe out all mortals in the universe. Piccolo would then realize that Piccolo Black was simply being used by Zamasu. As Piccolo would say, so, you created a copy just to achieve this goal? Piccolo Black would laugh and say, copy? No, I'm the real thing. As then he would say Zamasu took Piccolo's body, and he killed Gohan and all of his friends. This angered Piccolo, as he punched Piccolo Black, sent him flying down, but as he began to beat him up, Piccolo Black only got stronger, began to push Piccolo back. Piccolo could use the Kaioken, but that would simply make Piccolo Black grow rapidly, and Vegeta was bleeding out, so they needed to get away. Piccolo would blast the ground with all of his might, creating a massive hole and smoke everywhere. Not strong enough to blow up the planet, though. And as that distracted them, they all got into the time machine and went back to the past. As they went back from the past, they all needed a plan on how to defeat them. Piccolo actually had an idea as he flew over to Gohan. And, well, Vegeta had an idea too. As Vegeta healed, he would go to Captain Ginyu. Captain Ginyu was practicing his poses when he said, we needed you. For what? This guy's immortal. Now, I don't know what happens. You take someone who's immortal's body. Maybe the immortality will simply swap, or maybe it will stay on their side. But I want to find out. It might be our only way to win. Captain Ginyu would then look at him and say, the new body. I don't like the body swap after I got trapped in a frog. But this will definitely be entertaining. Alright, I'll humor you. I'll take his body. Vegeta would smile, as Piccolo would then go to Gohan. Gohan would look at Piccolo and say, I know, but I need your help. Please help me. Gohan would nod as Piccolo took Gohan to the time chamber, the first time in his life in this series. Gohan went into the time chamber and began to train. As Piccolo trained him, he reminded him of old times, back when Piccolo would train him when he was a kid. Piccolo saw potential in Gohan ever since he was little, and he sees one in him now, and he's not going to let him waste it. As he trained Gohan and pushed him through his anger, pushed him through his development, pushed him through everything, eventually he would achieve it. He would achieve, after months and months of training, the beast form. Gohan would leave the time chamber in his beast form. After unlocking it, he felt like he was invincible. He felt like no one can challenge him. His power is truly unbelievable. The only person who could be above him was Piccolo. Piccolo then went out with Gohan. As they went to the time machine, Vegeta had Captain Ginyu. The plan was to send Captain Ginyu, Piccolo, and Gohan out there. Gohan and Piccolo could defeat Piccolo Black, and Captain Ginyu would just take Zamasu's body. As they got into the time machine, they would go back to the future, and as they went there, Piccolo Black and Zamasu were waiting for them. Piccolo Black would laugh, Gohan? Why would you bring Gohan? What has he done? But then Gohan would turn beast, as suddenly, this shocked Piccolo Black. Piccolo Black would then turn rosé, as Orange Piccolo would go Kaioken and kick Piccolo Black, as Eddie shot a massive ki blast, so did Gohan Beast. Piccolo Black also shot a ki blast, as it made an epic beam struggle. Zamasu would see this and want to get involved, but then Captain Ginyu would walk up to him and say, change now! As Captain Ginyu took Zamasu's body, he then blew him up, having the immortal body. Piccolo Black would see this and begin to get angry as he got more powerful, but Piccolo and Gohan also got angry as they pushed everything they had. Then Captain Ginyu would push in his energy too, Piccolo Black began to push more and more and more, trying to survive, trying to stay alive, trying to complete his plan of Project Zero Mortals, but no matter what he did, it was helpless, as the energy surrounded and killed him. With him dead, the universe was saved. They saved the future timeline. It seemed like everything was going to be okay, and that's going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the video down below. Peace out. Love you all.